nice introduction. So here we study this quantum state transfer on non-complete extended p-sum of the path on 3 vertices. Okay, so we start with a brief introduction to this. Okay, so continuous time quantum walk was first used by Ferri and Gutman in studying quantum algorithmic problems in quantum spin networks. So this study was published in this article, Quantum Computations and Case Entries. So it has been observed that this continuous time quantum walk plays an important role in studying several quantum transportation phenomenon. So quantum state transfer is one such phenomena where the characteristic vector of an initial vertex or state is transited to the characteristic vector of another vertex. Okay, so now some studies can be found where we see that the characteristic vector of initial vertex is transited to a linear combination of characteristic vectors of a collection of vertices, but yeah, so that is known as quantum fractional revival. So here we are going to concentrate only on quantum state transform. Okay, so we'll give a definition shortly. So here we are going to discuss two types of state transfer here. One is called perfect state transfer. This was introduced by Sogato Bose in 2003. So he proposed that this, I mean, vertex to vertex, perfect state transfer is possible. So this was the first fundamental research in this area. After that, Godzil proved that we have, so this perfect state transfer is a very rare phenomena. We have very few graphs with this property. So he proposed a approximation to that, and this is known as pretty good state transfer. And this has been published in this article, state transfer on graphs in string mathematics. Okay, so we see several applications to this state transfer in quantum information processing and cryptography. You can, if you are interested, you can see references 1 and 3. Okay. Oh, sorry, 1 and 7. Okay. So just define this. So the continuous time quantum walk on a graph G with adjacency matrix A is governed by the transition matrix defined by HT equals exponential of minus ITA, and it has this expansion n equals 1 to infinity minus IT whole power n by factorial n into a power n, where 3 is a real number. Okay, so here it can be observed that this transition matrix is in fact a unitary matrix, and also it can be observed that this is in fact a polynomial in A. So if you see the spectral decomposition of this adjacency matrix, then we can since the exponential function is defined on the eigenvalues of A, so we can write the spectral decomposition of exponential of minus ITA also, and from that you can see that this transition matrix is a polynomial in A. So yeah, so now we define this perfect state transfer. So we say that a graph G exhibits perfect state transfer between two vertices U and V at time tau if the UVth entry of that H tau, that transition matrix evaluated at the time tau. So the UVth entry has unique modulus. So in that case, we say that perfect state transfer occurs in G. And if not, so if we have a sequence of time Tk, at those times, if we calculate the UVth entries of the transition matrices, so So we get a sequence of complex numbers. Now, if that sequence converges to some complex number of unit modulus, in that case, we say that the graph G exhibits pretty good state transfer. Okay. So this untrustable quantum can also be defined with respect to the Laplacian matrix as well. So some studies have been done on Laplacian matrix also. So here, instead of the adjacency matrix, to define the tangent matrix, we use the Laplacian matrix of a graph. So in that case, we talk about Laplacian perfect state transfer and Laplacian pretty good state transfer. Okay. So here is an example. So for the path P2, we see the adjacency matrix is this. So for this adjacency matrix, you can clearly see that A power m is the identity matrix if n is even, and this A power n is A if n is odd. So now we can plug in this to this expansion of the transition matrix, and this simplifies to cos t times I minus I sin t times A. And if we write this in matrix form, so the entries of this matrix is cos t minus I sin t and minus I sin t cos t. So now you can see that at pi by 2, that 1/2th entry of this matrix is minus I, so it has unit modulus. So that means this graph, this path with two vertices 1 and 2, so that exhibits perfect state transfer between these two vertices. Okay. So here is the result. So that is useful to see whether in a graph two vertices are eligible to have perfect state transfer or not. Okay. So the result is as follows. So if a graph G admits perfect state transfer from a vertex U to another vertex P, then the set of all automorphisms of G that fixes the vertex U, and the set of automorphisms of G that fixes the vertex P. So these two sets will be identical. Okay. So yeah. So we have a short proof of this. So suppose P is the permutation matrix associated to an automorphism of G. So if the graph G admits perfect state transfer between two vertices U and V, then we have the U-beth entry as unit modulus. So that means H tau EU. This EU is the characteristic vector of the vertex Q. Okay. So H tau EU is equals to gamma times EV, where gamma is the complex number of unit modulus. Okay. So now we apply the matrix P uh, on the left in both sides. So after that, we see that since the as we have said that the transition matrix is a polynomial in A, and the permutation matrix P commutes with the adjacency matrix. So that means the permutation matrix commutes with the transition matrix as well. So using that, we can see that that H tau P EU that becomes gamma times P times EB. Okay, so now you see PEU is the this PEU is the characteristic vector of the automorphic image of the vertex U. Okay, so or if it happens that the automorphism fixes the vertex U, in that case PEU is going to be EU itself. So H tau EU will be gamma times EEB. Now we already have H tau EU is equals to gamma times EB. So that means PEB has to be equal to EB itself. So that means the automorphism must also fix the vertex B. So if perfect state transfer occurs between two vertices U and B, then for any automorphism that fixes U, it must also fix the vertex B also. Okay, so from this result, we can also observe one thing, that if we have perfect state transfer between two vertices U and B, in that case, we have perfect state transfer between their automorphic images also. Okay, so this is this observation we have used in our proof that we are going to see. Okay, so yeah, so here we have some examples where we do not have perfect state transfer. You know why? So as for example, in this cycle with odd number of vertices, so here you can see that we can have a automorphism that fixes only the vertex U. So that means in this graph we cannot have perfect state transfer. And same reason we can apply here for any complete graph with more than two vertices. Okay? And of course, in this star, where we have more than two leaves, in that case also you can see that we have an automorphism that fixes only one vertex for each of its vertices. So that means in this star also we do not have perfect state transfer. And for this complete bipartite graph, where each partite set contains at least three vertices, in that case also we can see that these graphs cannot exhibit perfect state transfer. Okay, so some examples that we have already seen the path P2. So path P2 and P3 exhibits perfect state transfer at time pi by 2 and pi by square root of 2. And later on, in fact, it has been shown that any Cartesian powers of the path P2 and P3 exhibits perfect state transfer at time pi by 2 and pi by square root of 2. Okay, and then the result has been generalized for the path P2 for the cube-like graphs. In fact, it can be seen that these graphs are any case of P2 also. So this cube-like graph, so some of this graph exhibits perfect state transfer at time pi by 2 and pi by 4. So the complete characterization is will not there. Okay, so now we can see that for the paths with more than three vertices, the graphs do not exhibit perfect state transfer. And later on, it has been established that the path Pn, when n is a power of 2 or an odd prime or 2 times a odd prime, in that case, this path exhibits a pretty good state transfer. Okay, then the double star, that means we have two vertices joined by an edge, and each in each vertices we have some leaves attached. So if there are same number of leaves attached, in that case we have perfect transfer between the internal vertices. Okay, so this is also a result by Gottlieb. So they have completely characterized that. So this double star exhibits pretty good state transfer between the internal vertices. So now complete graphs with more than two vertices that also do not exhibit pretty good state transfer. We have already seen that those graphs do not exhibit perfect state transfer. Also, so any complete graph with more than two vertices do not exhibit pretty good state transfer. So so to prove this, they actually have actually calculated that transition matrix, and so for each entry we can see a bound that is less than 1 by n for a complete graph with n vertices. So that means these graphs cannot exhibit pretty good set transfer. Okay. So in fact, any vertex density graph with odd number of vertices do not exhibit pretty good state transfer, and hence they do not exhibit perfect state transfer also. Okay. So yeah, so now we define what is called any non-complete extended P sum or any case of subgraph. So this any case of n graphs G1, G2, Gn with a basis set omega that is a n tuple of 0 and 1, and from that we exclude that element 0. Okay, because we don't want loops in this graph, so we are considering one is I mean simple graphs. So yeah, so this graph is denoted by NEPS E1, G2, Gn omega. So this has the vertex set of VG1, VG2 up to VGn. So here two vertices are adjacent, x1, x2, xn, and y1, y2, yn. If we have a n tuple in this basis set omega such that xi is exactly equal to, I mean xi equal to yi exactly when beta I is equal to 0, and xi is adjacent to yi in the graph gi exactly when beta I is equal to 1. Okay, so if all the factor graphs are same, in that case we shortly write this as NEPS subscript n e omega. That means we have n copies of this graph G here in this product. So this NEPS is a generalization to many of the graph products we know. For example, the Cartesian product of two graphs. So if we have two graphs G1 and G2, then the Cartesian product is denoted as E1 square G2. So it has the vertex set V1 cross V2. So two vertices are adjacent. So whenever U1 is adjacent to V1 in the graph E1 and U2 is equal to V2, or U1 is equal to V1 and U2 is adjacent to V2 in G2. Okay. So now this Cartesian product can be seen as any case of G1 and G2 with this basis set omega equals 1, 0, which contains the elements 1, 0 and 0, 1. And then the canonical product of two graphs. So in this case, two vertices. So yeah, two vertices are adjacent whenever they are component wise adjacent in the respective graphs. So in this case also we see that this is NEPS with the basis 1, 1. So other kind of graph products like strong product of graphs, that can also be seen as a special case of this NEPS. Okay, so we study the NEPS of the graph P3. So yeah, so as you have said, result we see that the paths on so the addition powers of P2 and P3 that exhibits perfect transfer. So that has been published. So these are initial papers. So it has been published in physical review letters and physical review A. So after that, the result for P2 that has been analyzed to any case of P2 in these two articles. Okay, so yeah, so we are then interested in any case of P3. So we ask this question that is there any case of P3 except the Cartesian powers that they exhibit the partial state transfer or not. Okay, so the problem was asked by Dragan Stevanovic in this review article. So we find we have investigated these graphs and we have seen that there are graphs that exhibit partial state transfer and subgraph they do not exhibit I mean they do not exhibit partial state transfer, and in those graphs we have seen whether it exhibits pretty good state transfer or not. Okay, so this is the main result we got in 11. So here we show that so if the basis is chosen in such a way that if we make a matrix whose elements are whose rows are the elements of omega, then if this matrix has full column rank, that is r omega, we define that rank to be r omega. So if this has full column rank, in that case only the any base will be in that case only the any base will be corrected. Okay, so now for each element in omega, assume that weight of that element, that means number of ones appearing in that tupule, so that is either even or odd. Okay, so we do not mix those. So after that, so we calculate the minimum weight that is appearing in omega, and we define omega star to be all those tuples in omega for which the minimum weight is attained. Okay? So now, the sufficient condition is this. So if the sum of the elements in omega star is non-zero in Z2N, in that case, the any case of P3 with this basis omega, so that graph exhibits partial state transfer at time pi by square root of 2 whole power k. In fact, we have shown that if it is non-zero, then between which two vertices, in fact, we have partial state transfer. That also we have found. Okay? So using this result, we can find infinitely any of this any case of P3 that exhibits partial state transfer. So an example you can see that if we consider omega to be 100010001, in that case, in this case the omega star is omega itself, and some of the entries in omega is non-zero. So that means the any case of P3 with this basis omega exhibits partial state transfer. So in fact, you can see that this is the Cartesian power of the path of three copies of the path P3. Okay, so our result in fact generalizes the result that all Cartesian powers of P3 exhibits partial state transfer. Okay, so and now this second example, if we add another tuple 111, in that case also we will have some more number of edges in this Cartesian power, but so in this case omega star will be 100010001 because omega star is the set of all tuples with minimum weight. So that is also non-zero. So that means this graph also exhibit partial state transfer. So in fact, we have found that for any natural number n, and any odd positive integer a less than n, we have a basis omega such that this any case of P3 with the basis omega is connected and exhibits perfect state transfer at pi by square root of 2 whole power k. Okay. So some using the main the result we have shown using the so using that result we have also shown that the Cartesian power of this any case of P3 and any case of P2, those graphs also exhibit so some graphs exhibit perfect transfer. So any case of P3 omega, if that satisfies the conditions of theorem 3 with a even, and if this any case of P2 admits perfect state transfer at time pi by 2 or pi by 4, in that case their Cartesian product also exhibit perfect state transfer. Okay, so we have another result here. So any case of P3 omega that satisfies the conditions of theorem 3, and suppose we have a graph E and this graph is such that so we have a real number r such that lambda over r is an odd integer for every eigenvalue lambda. In that case perfect state transfer occurs in the Kronecker product of any case of P3 omega and G at time tau k by r. Here tau k is pi by square root of 2 whole power k. That we have said in theorem 3. Okay. So for example, if we take a complete graph AM where M is even, then all the eigenvalues in this case are odd. So here r equals r we can take to be 1, and this any case of P3 with basis omega whose elements are the rows of the matrix J minus I. Here J is the all-on matrix and I is the identity matrix of order n. So here omega, the elements of omega are the rows of this matrix. So this product also exhibits perfect state transfer at time pi by square root 2 whole power n minus 1. Okay, so now so far we have considered any case with basis omega where the basis contains weights, I mean tuples of weight either even or odd, but not both. So we ask this question that what happens if we mix it up. So suppose omega e is the subset of omega containing the tuples of weight even, and omega o is the subset of omega containing the tuples with weight odd. So so if omega is a so if omega is such that omega e and omega o both sets are non-empty, in that case that any case of P3 so that does not exhibit perfect state transfer. Okay, so if we mix it up, in that case we will never have perfect state transfer. So that we have proved. After that, so in that case, and we have a pretty good state transfer in that. So we see that if we choose omega in such a way that the rank of the matrix with the elements of omega as rows. So if that matrix has full column rank, and then this both of these sets omega e and omega o are non-empty. So now for omega e we find the minimum weight, and we find all those elements with the minimum weight, and we do the same thing for the omega O also. So suppose the minimum weight that is appearing in omega O, that is L, and all those tuples that is the weight L atom, so that is omega O star. So we find this that this any case of P3 omega that admits pretty good state transfer if one of the following holds. So either the sum of the entries in omega E star is non-zero, or sum of the entries in omega O star is non-zero. Okay, so we can simply make some examples. So I'm not going to include that here. So yeah, so now some more results that we find that so a graph is called periodic if the answer matrix of the graph at time tau is a scalar multiple of the identity matrix. Okay, so that means H tau will be some gamma times identity matrix. In that case, we say that the graph is periodic at the at a exact time tau. So yeah, so yeah, so we say that now we say that a graph is periodic at a vertex if the UF, so at a vertex U if the UF entry of the transition matrix at time tau that has union modulus. Okay, so here we simply need periodicity at a single vertex. So if the graph has is periodic at a vertex at time tau and general graph G2 exhibits perfect state transfer at time eta. Now if this tau and eta, these two numbers, these two real numbers are linearly independent over the set of all rational numbers, in that case this Cartesian product of G1 and G2, this exhibits pretty good state transfer. Okay, so and yeah, so so you can take an example here for maybe yeah. So the path P2 is periodic at at both vertices at time pi, and this graph P3 exhibits a perfect state transfer at the n vertices at time pi by square root of 2. So this pi and pi by square root of 2, these two are linearly independent over Q. So that means their Cartesian product exhibits pretty good state transfer. Okay. So yeah, so a simple corollary we can get that let a graph G be integral, and that means it's all the eigenvalues of G are integers. So okay, so if we have any case of P3 that satisfies all the conditions of theorem 3 with a odd, so in that case the Cartesian power of the graph G and any case of P3 that admits pretty good state transfer. So for example, we can take the complete graph which we know have integral eigenvalues. So in that case, the graph AM Cartesian product with any case of P3 omega that exhibits pretty good state transfer with A odd. Okay. So yeah, so one interesting fact we have discovered that so first of all so we can see that perfect state transfer is monogamous. That means So if we have perfect state transfer from a vertex U to a vertex V, then it cannot occur between U to some other vertex W. Okay, so if for some time perfect state transfer occurs between U and V, then we can never have perfect state transfer between U to another vertex W. But so since the pretty good state transfer is an approximation to this perfect state transfer, so it was believed that this property will also happen for pretty good state transfer also, but it is the fact is it is not. So we have found an example that Cartesian power, I mean the Cartesian product of P2 and P3. So this graph exhibits pretty good state transfer. In fact, we have just proved. So this graph exhibits, in fact, pretty good state transfer between the vertex U1 to U3 and also the between the vertices U1 to V1. Okay, so in this case we have two different time sequences, and so we have pretty good state transfer between U1 to U3 and also between U1 to V1. Okay, so in fact we have we gave infinitely many such examples, so that can be seen in this result. So so suppose omega and omega dash. So omega is set of m tuples of 0, 1, and omega dash is set of n tuples of 0, 1, and weight of each tuple is in omega is odd, and suppose is the minimum weight that is appearing in omega, and omega star is all those tuples in omega for which the minimum weight attains. And so in that case, we see that any case of P3 omega and any case of P2 omega dash, their Cartesian product exhibits pretty good state transfer if any of the following holds. Okay, so either sum of the entries in omega star is non-zero, or sum of the entries in omega dash is not equal to 0. Okay, so yeah, so we have partial characterization to this this perfect state transfer and pretty good state transfer in any case of P3. So the graph where we have shown that perfect state transfer occurs. So in that also we don't completely know that the vertices at exhibit perfect state that we have shown, that is there any other pair of vertices that exhibits perfect state transfer, and overall the this for all any case of P3 we could not find a general characteristic, so more work is required in here. Okay, so these are the references. So this first one and the seventh one you can see. So the for applications, and yeah, so this so yeah, so this are the references. This result that we have stated here. So that has been published in 11 and 12, reference 11 and 12. Yeah, so I'll stop here. If you have any problem, I mean, if you have any question, you can ask now. So I think it's a short, and yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. Thank you, Hiranmay, for the interesting talk. Yeah.
Yes.
Audience, if you have any question, you can ask now.
Hello, sir. I have a question. So,
Yes.
Is there any type of graphs like the path or any regular graphs or like its periodicity property or perfectness transfer property? These are going to be hereditary. Like if we take the Cartesian among these types of graphs only, if say
See, for
yes.
there is no such general result that yeah. See, if some graph is an integral graph, in that case, in that graph we know that this is a periodic graph. That part we know. Okay. So there is yeah. So we can do some more work on that, but there is no such general result. Something like that.
And one thing, is there any work for weighted graph for considering that evolution operator for continuous time work?
Can you repeat that question?
So, is the weighted graph is considered for as a unitary?
Yes, yes, yes. So this so in this discussion, the paths are important class of graphs. So for paths, we see that some weighted paths has been considered, and then you can see for other graphs also weights has been have been considered. So in that case also. In defining the transfer matrix, we use uh, the weighted adjacency matrix or weighted Laplacian matrix, and we can proceed with the we pursue the definition. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Are there other questions?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Sir, what about the multipartite graph? Complete multipartite.
See, for complete multipartite graphs also. So the result that we have discussed earlier. So, so this that automorphism that fixes the vertex u that must also fix the vertex b. So that you can use to write out those complete multipartite graphs where each partite set contains more than three elements. Okay. So now if some partite set contain exactly two elements, in that case you can refer to a paper that discuss perfect state transfer on oval cone. Okay, so they actually take two partites. Okay, so you can put a edge between them or not, and after that we have a graph, and all partites you of this graph are point either of these two. Partites. So we have a oval. We have a double cone here. So for those graphs, it has been already established. So we have some result. So that you can see. Okay. So that will answer. So for this bipartite graph also. So if some partite set contain two vertices, in that case also this perfect transfer occurs or not. So some answers you can get, I mean, from the paper. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another thing is that earlier I have studied that the complete bipartite graph KPQ exhibit PST when one of P or Q is equals to 1, equals to 2, sorry, equals to 2. And
What,
in
what,
that
what?
case, actually I have earlier studied that PST occur in complete bipartite graph KPQ when one of P and Q is exactly equals to 2. And in that case, the PST occur between the two vertices, two vertices of degree greater than 2. That means two vertices in the partite set which contain two vertices only.
Yeah, so that is what I said, that if any partite set contain more than two elements, okay, so if all the partite set contain more than two elements, in that
Then
case,
never exists. Then PST never exists. I know. Yes,
yes,
sir.
yes, yes. So if it happens, then some of the partite set must contain exactly two elements. After that, we have to see that they occurs or not.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
Mm, mm,
Yes, thank you, thank you.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. There are other questions? Hiranmoy, I have a question.
Yes.
If you consider this directed graphs or mixed graphs, like graphs with
Yes.
both the directed and undirected edges,
Mhm.
so what will happen? Like this theory, is it developed for those setup?
Yes, yes. So, few papers you can see on directed graphs.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, mostly the study you can see with the undirected graph with the adjacency matrix. So, you also this in recent years people are also interested in the
Look.
matrix also, but with some other matrices like signless Laplacian or yeah, so and diagonal graph also. So some studies have been done for diagonal graph also.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there other questions? Okay. If not, let us thank Hiranmoy for this interesting talk. Thank you, Hiranmoy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.